Some people wake up to money already sitting in their account, earned while they were asleep without checking a single email or taking a single client call. It's not because they have a side hustle. It's because they own businesses that run almost on autopilot. I'm not talking about stocks or complicated real estate. I'm talking about boring, simple businesses that almost nobody considers a real business until they see how much they bring in every month. After going through years of research on low-maintenance business models and their profitability, I narrowed it down to a list anyone can replicate. Some of these are going to sting a little, because you've probably had the chance to start one of them already and you let it pass. If you only act on one idea from this list, make it the last one. It's the one that generates income with the least effort out of all 10. Here we go. Before we get started, let me introduce myself real quick in case this is the first video of mine you've seen. My name is Ethan. I've spent years researching how ordinary people, no inheritance, no connections, build real wealth. And one thing I learned during that time is that almost nobody gets rich with a brilliant idea. They get rich with the boring idea that nobody else wanted to do. This list is exactly about that. We're going from 10 down to 1. Each business includes how much it costs to start, how much it can generate, and why almost nobody pays attention to it. Stick around because the pattern you'll notice by the end is going to change how you see businesses without the glamour. Business 10, commercial window cleaning. Let's start with something you see every day and never think about. Someone hanging from a harness cleaning windows on a tall building. It sounds dangerous. It sounds blue collar. It sounds like the last business anyone with an education would choose. But commercial window cleaning contracts for office buildings and hospitals pay between $400 and $1,000 per workday, and many operators work exclusively on annual contracts that renew automatically every January. Why doesn't anyone do it? Because it looks like a job, not a business. But an operator running 3 two-person crews, specializing only in hospitals and office buildings, bills $300,000 a year without strapping on a harness himself. The barrier isn't money. It's the fear of heights from someone who could just hire somebody else to go up. Here's the first pattern you'll see repeating throughout this entire video. The business that's the most physically uncomfortable to do is usually the least competitive. If heights make you dizzy, you don't need to climb the building yourself. You need to find someone who can, pay them well, and keep the difference between what you charge the client and what you pay the crew. Business 9, portable restroom rentals. This is probably the least attractive business on the entire list, and that's exactly why it's one of the most profitable. The global portable restroom rental market has been valued above $20 billion and keeps climbing year after year. Why is it growing so fast? Because every construction site, every event, every fair needs one, and nobody wants to own one. You can. The model is simple. You buy the units, rent them out per event or per month, clean them on a scheduled route, and collect payment every time they're in use. You don't sell anything. You rent out something nobody wants to buy, and that's exactly what makes it profitable. There's a lesson here that repeats across several businesses on this list. The uglier or more uncomfortable the product, the fewer people are willing to compete against you. The discomfort isn't the obstacle. It's the barrier to entry that protects you. Business 8, vending machines. Today's vending machines aren't the ones from 20 years ago. They now accept cards, have screens, and can be monitored from your phone without physically going to the location. A well-placed machine in an office, a gym, a factory can generate between $300 and $1,000 per month in pure profit, depending on the product and foot traffic. The key to this business isn't the product, it's the location. One operator ended up with 50 machines and hasn't personally touched a single one in years because he has a contracted restocking route. The money doesn't come from selling sodas. It comes from having 50 locations paying you rent without realizing that's how they see it. And here's something almost nobody tells you. What you're really buying when you install a vending machine isn't the machine itself. It's permission to stand 24 hours a day in a spot where nothing was generating money before. That empty corner in the office, that hallway in the gym, it was worth $0 a month until someone decided to put a machine on top of it. Business 7, ATM network. Hold on to this one because it connects directly to the previous entry. Owning your own ATM network sounds like something only banks do, but anyone can buy machines, place them in businesses with heavy cash traffic, and earn a fee every time someone withdraws money. With the right location, each machine can generate between $1,000 and $3,000 per month in net profit. You don't sell anything. You don't serve customers. You just keep the machine stocked with cash, and charge for the convenience of having it there. The business works because it solves an invisible problem. There are places, bars, laundromats, markets, where people need cash and don't have it on hand. You simply show up with the solution and charge for being present. Something almost nobody mentions about this business is that it pairs perfectly with the previous one. If you already have a vending machine in a location, that same owner will probably accept an ATM too. Every location you visit becomes two income streams instead of one, without doubling the time you spend maintaining it. Business 6. Bookkeeping for small businesses. Here we shift from machines to something completely different: paperwork. And yes, boring paperwork makes people rich too. Every small business needs to keep its books up to date, and most owners deeply hate doing it. That's why they pay between $500 and $1,500 a month to hire someone to do it for them. Let's do the simple math. If you have 10 clients paying $1,000 a month each, you're already generating $10,000 a month. No office needed, no employees, just you with a laptop and a basic understanding of accounting. The accounting services market keeps growing year over year, and that growth also reaches independent bookkeepers serving small businesses. The interesting thing about this business is that you don't need to be a certified accountant to start serving small businesses that only need basic organization, not complex audits. What you're selling isn't a credential, you're selling peace of mind. The peace of mind that someone else is handling something the business owner hates doing. Business 5. Residential and commercial cleaning. This business is so simple that a lot of people dismiss it right away, cleaning houses and offices. But here's the stat that changes the perception. A solo operator with just 5 recurring clients per week can generate between $5,000 and $8,000 a month. If you scale to a 4-person crew, that number jumps to between $25,000 and $40,000 a month, with profit margins between 35% and 50%. The secret isn't in cleaning better than everyone else. It's in the recurrence. A client who pays you every week for a year is worth far more than 10 clients who hire you once. I'll tell you, from my research on this type of business, most people who try to start a cleaning business don't fail because they clean poorly. They fail because they chase new clients constantly, instead of holding on to the ones they have. It's easier to keep a client who already trusts you happy than to convince a new one every week. Business 4. Coin laundromats. This is one of the most studied, boring businesses in the country, and the recent numbers show something few people expect. The laundromat industry generates billions of dollars a year, with average revenue around $150,000 per location annually, and net profit margins that can reach up to 35%. Here's the stat that sounds almost unbelievable. Approximately 95% of laundromats are still operating after 5 years. Compare that to any new restaurant, and you'll understand why serious investors prefer machines washing clothes over a trendy restaurant. People will always need to wash their clothes. That doesn't change with the economy. It doesn't change with technology, and it doesn't change with trends. There's something else few people consider about this business. A big portion of the revenue no longer comes just from the machines. It comes from what surrounds the machines. Beverage and snack vending, ATMs, free Wi-Fi that keeps people waiting longer inside the location. The laundromat turned into, without anyone planning it that way, several small businesses running under the same roof. Business 3. Self-storage rentals. If you've ever wondered why so many storage facilities keep popping up in every city, here's the answer. The self-storage market is valued in the tens of billions of dollars, with tens of thousands of facilities currently operating, and nearly 1 in 8 households rents at least one unit, a percentage that keeps climbing year after year. Why is it growing so fast? Because new homes and apartments are smaller than before, but people keep accumulating the same amount of stuff or more. The business doesn't sell space. It sells the solution to a problem that modern life manufactures on its own, not having anywhere to put your things. And there's a detail that few people mention. The fastest growing customer segment in this sector isn't families moving between homes. It's small e-commerce sellers using these units as makeshift warehouses to store inventory without paying the rent on a full commercial space. Storage stopped being just for keepsakes. It's now also silent infrastructure for small businesses. Business 2. Heavy equipment and tool rental. Buying an industrial mower, scaffolding, or a professional-grade saw costs thousands of dollars that most people don't have and don't want to spend just to use it for one weekend. That's why renting equipment has become a quietly profitable business. You buy the equipment once, and you rent it out dozens of times over its useful life. The typical customer isn't just the homeowner who needs to mow the yard. It's small contractors who prefer renting specialized equipment instead of buying it because their project lasts a few weeks, and they don't need that machine sitting around the rest of the year, eating up space and maintenance. Costs. The logic here is the same as the portable restrooms. You absorb the cost of owning something expensive once, and you charge dozens of different people to use it for a short period. The equipment pays for itself several times over during its useful life, and after that, everything it generates is profit. Business 1. Specialized electrical services for smart technology. Traditional electricians charge well for emergency calls and regular maintenance, but something changed in recent years. The arrival of smart homes and electric vehicle charging stations turned this old-school trade into a specialization with much higher rates. An electrician who specializes in EV charging station, installation, and smart home systems can charge rates above $250 per hour compared to much lower traditional rates. The business is still the same trade it always was. What changed was the specialization within it, and that's something you'll notice across this whole list. You don't reinvent the wheel. You just point it in a direction nobody else is looking. There's a detail that ties this directly to your everyday life. More and more homes are installing EV chargers in their garage, and most traditional electricians still don't specialize in that kind of installation. Whoever does it first in their area over the next few years will charge premium rates simply for getting there before everyone else. That's all 10. Same pattern every single time. The businesses nobody wants to look at are the ones quietly making the most money.